Today we're going to talk about solving multi-step equations. There are two terms that we're going to need to know for this lesson. And the first one is what are two operations that undo each other? Those are called inverse. Let me get my pencil working, sorry. Sorry about that. They're called inverse operations. So fill that in your first blank on your paper. And all that means is whatever sign is in front of the number, our variable, we're going to do the opposite. So if it says add, we're going to subtract. If it says subtract, we're going to add. It says multiply, we're going to divide. And if it's divide, we're going to multiply. Now, one thing we always want to do when working with these equations is get terms with the same variable together. Terms that are with the same variable, we've discussed this before, are called like terms. Now, let's try the first example. Let's look at it. 3x plus 7 equals negative 8. From before, we always talked about the first thing we're going to do is draw our line through the equal sign. So we're trying to get our variables on this side and our numbers on this side. Now, the first step we're going to do to get these numbers, get like terms together is we're going to move the 7. So what's the opposite of plus 7 is subtract 7. So we're going to subtract 7 from both sides every time. Excuse me. If you do it to one side, you have to do it to the other. So 7 minus 7 will cancel out. Now, we'll bring down our 3x. So we're left with 3x on the left side. Now, we've got to do negative 8 minus 7. When you put that in your calculator or work it by hand, that will give you negative 15. Now, we're not done with this problem yet because we have to get the x by itself. We always want a single variable by itself, no numbers in front of it. So we have 3x, which means 3 times x. So the opposite of multiply is divide. So we're going to divide both sides by 3. So 3 divided by 3 leaves me with 1. I've got 1x, so I'm going to bring it down. Now, we're going to have equals and do negative 15 divided by 3. That will give you negative 5. I'm going to show you something you can do to see if that's the right answer. We can check it. I'm not going to require you to check any of these problems, but I'm going to show you how just in case you want to. We know that x equals negative 5, or we believe it does. So we're going to plug negative 5 in for x in the original problem. So you're going to have 3 negative 5 in parentheses plus 7 equals negative 8. Now, 3 times negative 5 will give me negative 15 plus 7 equals negative 8. Negative 15 plus 7 will give me negative 8 equals negative 8. And that is true, so this equation checks. You do not have to check these when you work your problems, but if you want to, you're more than welcome to. All right, now we've done the first problem. We're going to try 3. I'm going to give you about, actually, as long as you need, because since we're doing all this online, you get as long as you need, but we're going to try these 3. Take a short break, work these 3 problems out, and then we'll come back and I will go over the problems with you. Pause now And when you're finished, restart the video. So the first problem, we're going to add 15 to both sides. Draw my line down. So if the 15's cancel, we're left with 6x. 9 plus 15 will give me 24. Now, we got 6 times x, so the opposite is divide. We're going to divide both sides by 6 because we're doing the order of operation to both sides. 6 divided by 6, that cancels out. We're left with x equals 4. Now, you can pause the video and go back if you need to and look at how we did that again. But we'll go into the second problem. Now we have subtract 4. Opposite of, we're going to draw our line first. Now the opposite of subtract 4 is add. Add 4 to both sides. We've got 7x left over. Negative 11 plus 4 will give me negative 7. Now, have 7 times x. The opposite of multiply is divide, sorry. So we're going to divide both sides by 7. X equals negative 1. Negative 7 divided by 7 is negative 1. I'm going to change this y. We're going to try to use x as much as possible. Now, we have 2x plus 5. We're going to draw equals 1. We're going to draw our line. Now, we have plus 5. Opposite of plus 5 is minus 5. 1 minus 5. Actually, check that. We're going to go back. We have 2x left on the left side. 1 minus 5 will give me negative 4. So we're left with 2x equals negative 4. And now we have 2 times x. The opposite of 2 times x is divided by. So we're going to divide both sides by 2. That cancels out. We're going to have x left over on the left side equals negative 2. You can pause and rewind as needed. We'll go on to the next problems. We'll do 3 more. We're going to draw our line every time. That's a little bit crooked, but we'll go with it. Now, plus 10, opposite plus 10 is minus 10. So subtract 10 on both sides. We're going to have 3x left. 40 minus 10 is 30. So 3x equals 30. 3 times x, opposite of 3 times is divide. So we're going to do divide both sides by 3. 3's cancel. I'm left with x on the left side. 30 divided by 3 equals 10. So x equals 10. Now, 10x plus 14 equals 54. We're going to draw our line. Plus 14, we're going to do opposite of that. So it's going to be subtract. Minus 14 on both sides, because what we do to one, we have to do to the other side. We're left with 10x on the left side. 54 minus 14 is 40. So we're going to have 10x equals 40. 10 times x, opposite of multiply, is divide. So we're going to divide by 10. 10's cancel. X equals 4. Now this one's going to be a little different. We got to check it. We got to make sure we check our signs while we're working. 12x minus 12 equals negative 144. We got a minus 12. Opposite of subtract 12 is plus 12. So plus 12 on both sides. Got 12x on one side. Negative 144. We got to make sure you check your sign. Negative 144 plus 12 will give me negative 132. Now, 12. All right, now